Hi everyone, this is Veronica. Today we are going to talk about ISIS after Baghdadi. Now we know that Baghdadi is dead. So what will happen to ISIS now? Is it the end of ISIS? We will try to analyze that. For my video updates and queries, you can contact me on Instagram and Facebook because I feel together we can make a difference. So now you can get our premium content at rupees 159 per month only. You can be a member of our channel. You can join it. What you will get here, there are some premium videos which other students who are not the subscribers, who are not the members of the channel, you can say, cannot get access to these videos. These are daily current affairs, monthly banking awareness, monthly best 200 current affairs. By Prashant Dhawan, you will get monthly compilation of most important geopolitics and IR issues. And by Dr. Mahipal Singh Rathore, you will get monthly 5 premium videos. So now you just become the member of our channel. Okay, now we'll talk about the relevance of this topic. Mains paper 2, it will be covered there. Effect of policies and politics of world on India's interest at objective level. You should know about the ISIS origin, what was the goal and everything, details about it, and now the fall also. In what context today we are studying this, as we have seen that on 26 October, the top leader of ISIS, he was Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. He blew himself in a dead-end tunnel. And he was the leader of ISIS from past many years and was leading the organization. But however, we see that the killing of this kind of leader is just a short-term setback for the network, because okay, you have killed the leader, it's fine, but the ideology is still there to counter. Now I will tell you in detail, in brief, you can say, background about the ISIS, the brief history. Talking about the formation of ISIS, within 18 months of the withdrawal of US troops from Iraq in 2011, the Al-Qaeda in Iraq, which was known as AQI, Al-Qaeda Iraq, they captured large territories across Iraq and Syria and morphed itself into ISIS. Talking about the caliphate thing, in 2014, the group declared caliphate and anointed a descendant of the Prophet, Abu Bakr Baghdadi, as its caliph. However, the Muslim world denies it. Talking about the propaganda, using the propaganda on social media, the caliphate attracted thousands of foreign fighters, including over 5,000 from the West also. They have decentralized their wilayas, their branches, riding high on extremists and terrorists from across the globe. ISIS announced decentralized wilayas and asked their supporters to join them if they could not travel to the caliphate to carry on the local attacks. Then unique modus operandi, how they operated. The modus operandi paid rich dividends and has continued to keep the network long and going despite their losses. And Operation Inherent Resolve means the US-led coalition launched Operation Inherent Resolve in 2014 and cleared the last pocket of caliphate in Baghouz. So the region was Baghouz in Syria in March. Now looking at this Operation Kayla Mueller, I will talk about this, which is a temporary setback, but let's talk about this Operation Kayla Mueller. This was a very secret and stealth operation that actually claimed the life of Islamic leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. So this operation is named after a 26-year-old Kayla Mueller. She was an American who was kidnapped and killed by the extremist group in 2015. And according to US officials, including President Trump, Baghdadi killed himself when he detonated a suicide belt. And you know about Baghdadi, his date of birth is 1971 to 2019. He was a leader of ISIS. He was designated by the US, United States Department, as specially designated global terrorist. So this Operation Kayla Mueller, it is also known as Barisha Raid. Here I will write it. Okay, Barisha Raid, it's written here. So this is the area where it took place in Syria. You can say how the helicopter strikes were there and he blew himself in a tunnel. On the global map, you can see this position is somewhere here in the Middle East. Okay, so now what now after Baghdadi has been killed? As I'm telling you, it is just a temporary setback. How? Because they were somehow prepared for the eventuality. The ISIS core had been preparing for this eventuality even while fighting to save the caliphate. Soon enough, ISIS core will anoint a new caliph to whom all the wilayas and extremists and supporters will readily offer their allegiance to. Then they are ready to prove their resilience also. They will try to bounce back. The ISIS network will also make serious efforts to mount signature attacks on chosen targets to prove its resilience, while their local networks may mount lone wolf attacks. Then we have seen the attacks after the victory, like the ISIS claimed attacks in Sri Lanka. It released the second video of Baghdadi. He hailed the revenge for Baghouse by brothers in Sri Lanka. That's what he said. The rare video of Baghdadi was released to assure the cadres that it could hit their enemies anywhere at their own will. And then they have huge cadres also, like over 25,000 to 30,000 ISIS cadres have survived, and many foreign fighters have escaped this Iraq-Syria theater. Thousands of the fighters and family members are being held in Kurdish areas of Syria. Then ISIS have sleeper cells across Syria and Iraq, which have mounted hundreds of attacks this year. Then the decentralized wilayas in the West Africa, your Afghanistan, Indonesia, Libya, they have become more active and are causing successes on social media daily. The open propaganda forums, they have replaced by invitation links. So in social media, they have groups which are replaced by invitation link only. So these links on social media making detection much harder. Then the complicated situation in Syria. The situation is very complicated so far, as US is only guarding oil fields from ISIS and chasing its counter-terror targets in Syria. So the weakening of the Syrian democracy, if you see, forces position vis-a-vis Turkey and the Assad regime will deplete its sources and hinder the capability to defeat ISIS, because it has been said that some countries are supporting ISIS, however, officially they deny to do so. Sectarian fault lines and public protests in Iraq and Lebanon, US and Saudi-Iran tensions, the region offers a fresh opportunity for recruitment to both ISIS and the Al-Qaeda Iraq networks. So foreign networks, for example, we talk about South Asia. They have attracted foreign fighters from South Asia mainly. These are the Pakistanis, Afghans, Maldivians and Bangladeshis. You have seen the Easter attacks showed the potential of violence even by a small group of committed cadres with support of ISIS network. And then in Bangladesh 3 years ago, ISIS did create an effective but small network with the active support of Western nationals of Bangladeshi origin, and Bangladesh remains vulnerable. Now, talking about India, you need to note here that less than 100 to 200 Indians are believed to have traveled to Syria and Iraq and Afghanistan to join ISIS. So this creates the potential for more recruitment as well as aiding attacks on Indian soil or interest. A few weeks ago, ISIS propaganda has called for jihad. So their sentiments rest around Kashmir, pegged on sentiments around Kashmir, and they have specifically called for attacks on Indian interest in the Arabian Peninsula. So we are watching a new kind of radicalism is in the round. The fresh round of radicalization and recruitment that ISIS will embark on under its new leader, it will pose further threats to India as well as to South. So there are many challenges ahead. Like what happened to IS now is similar to what happened to AQI then. So what is this AQI? This is Al-Qaeda Iraq. Now listen to this carefully. When Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, I will write here, he was a leader of AQI. Abu Musab al-Zarqawi. Okay, he was killed in US in 2006. So it was a setback to Al-Qaeda Iraq, the organization that he led. But after his death, Sunnis in northern Iraq rose against the Al-Qaeda Iraq. This, along with the surge in US troops in Iraq, they pushed this group to retreat from cities and towns. They pushed this Al-Qaeda Iraq back, but they were not able to finish them off. So Syria began plunging into chaos in early days of civil war in 2011, and the backdrop, what we have seen, Al-Qaeda Iraq under Baghdadi's leadership, they became something big. They morphed into bigger, more powerful terrorist machinery that is known as ISIS. So they morphed from AQI. So similar is the situation with Syria right now, with ISIS right now. When Baghdadi is killed, We don't want that what happened to AQI happened same thing to ISIS. So Baghdadi Caliphate was a short-lived phenomenon. The cities the IS once ruled were liberated and its jihadists are on the run. Now that Baghdadi is also gone, the IS is at its weakest point of its short history. Nevertheless, the conditions that gave rise to IS still remain. The IS, like its peers in global jihadism such as Al-Qaeda, is not a completely leader-dependent organization. It is fundamentally an insurgency comprising ideologically linked autonomous cells and loyal to one's leadership. So, despite Baghdadi's death, it is a blow to IS and its propaganda, but it does not mean that IS operations are over. So the geopolitical conditions and that led to the IS creation have not changed much. So what is the way forward here? Obviously, with the IS double loss, the focus should now be on stabilizing Iraq and Syria. Global leaders should contemplate towards this thing. Efforts should be made on to end conditions that led to the rise of AQI and IS. That means, okay, you have killed the leader, but now you have to counter the ideology also, which is there in the society. This is very crucial to make Baghdadis. This is important. You have to give a meaning to the death of Baghdadi if you want to end terrorism, global terrorism. So here all the global leaders have to come together to fight against such deadly terrorism. Right? This is all about today's lecture. Thank you. So this is the channel StudyIQ. If you're preparing for UPSC or any government exam, our pen drive and tablet courses are available. If you're preparing for UPSC CSE 2020, our pen drive course is available where you can find 100% coverage of UPSC vast syllabus. Daily current affair updates will be available. Self-paced learning process is provided. This course has been prepared by top faculties of StudyIQ, and now you can purchase this course at Rs 625 per month only. For additional information, you can visit our site, and there are the phone numbers also given. You can call them and gain the additional information. You can connect with me for my video updates on Instagram and Facebook, because I feel together we can make a huge difference. For queries, you can even email me. Thank you so much.